Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This video is a encore to what I put out on Patreon the other day, exposing the rigged AFL. This is where I told people it was a guarantee that we were going to see Richmond and Geelong meet in the 124th Grand Final. And lo and behold, here we are. So let's get into this. So Richmond and Geelong both advanced to the Grand Final as predicted. And like I talked about before, I said this is the 124th season of the AFL. And what we talk about here is we talk about the language of gematria. Gematria is Jewish numerology, which comes from Kabbalah, which says that God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. And there's four base ciphers we talk about. We talk about the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. The reverse alphabetic order, where Z is 1, Y is 2, X is 3, up to A is 26. And then the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, and the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. The rules of numerology just means you break every letter down to a single digit. And in gematria, Richmond Football Club Limited, the full name of Richmond, sums to 124. So does Geelong. And again, it's the 124th season of the AFL. The AFL, the grand final this year, is on October 24th. That's the day leaving 68 days left in the year. The word championship is 68. The grand final is the championship of the AFL. So the AFL suspended play March 22nd. That's a huge number to the cabal, a date written 223 or 322. Yale and Skull and Bones identifies by 322. 223, Masonics 223. The Synagogue of Satan's 223. The Synagogue of Satan is the name for the false Jews. Richmond Tigers is 216. That's why they suspended play 216 days before the start of the championship, because it was a ritual for Richmond to be there. This is all stuff I pointed out on my Patreon video from two or 3 days before these games were played. You want to go back and watch that unlisted video, sign up for the Patreon. So the AFL, when they suspended play March 22nd, they resumed play June 11th. That was a span of 81 days, like how Richmond Tigers, the small way, is 81. 81, also the ritual number. So Geelong, they're the other team that has the 124 connection. This is what I told everybody on Patreon. I said it's the 124th grand final. It looks golden for Richmond and Geelong to be there. Sure enough, they are. So notice Geelong's football team. Notice it's their 162nd season. Richmond Tigers is 162. Perfect team to play in the championship of their 162nd season. So notice Geelong and pandemic is the exact same. When we first started this research, we only knew about these two ciphers, the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. The difference between these ciphers is in this cipher, G is 7, E is 5, E is 5, L is 12, O is 15, N is 14, G is 7. In this cipher, G is 7, E is 5, E is 5, but it makes L worth 3, because L's the 12th letter. So 1 plus 2 is 3. O becomes 6 instead of 15 because 1 plus 5 is 6. And N, the 14th letter, becomes 5 because 1 plus 4 is 5. Same with pandemic. So Australia, the first case of COVID-19, the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Australia was January 25th in Victoria. That's a date written 1/25 or 25/1. That's why you got to know both dates. You got to know how to write dates both ways. Again, January 25th, 1/25, Victoria, Australia, 1/25. That's why you heard about that news on that date. And as I always talk about, it's the Jesuit order who controls this planet. They're the ones who run the show. They control rigged sports, news, media, military, government, weather. These people answer to no one. Jesuit order is 54. Geelong Cats is 54. The reason that matters is because 251 is the 54th prime number. My next video I'm going to put out is going to be on the 2022 World Cup, which is pretty easy to see who's going to win that. Again, that's going to be for Patreon members only. If you guys want these picks, you want the Premier League, you want this, you want tomorrow's NFL picks, sign up for the Patreon. All the information is going to be there. You know, always gamble smart too when you gamble. Don't do anything stupid. Sometimes when you're clever, though, they catch on to it. I'll just tell you guys a story, okay? I'm in Pittsburgh, right? And Rivers Casino is it's the casino in Pittsburgh. It's right next to PNC Park where the Pirates play their rig games. But I was in Rivers Casino once, and you know how sometimes when you walk around and you see the vouchers there, if people are on a $1 machine or even a higher slot machine, or even some of the lower ones, 25 cents, 50-cent machines, people will leave a couple cents on there, 7, 12 cents. Sometimes they might leave 50 or 75 cents. If you walk, I used to walk around the casinos, and I would just sit down if I saw money on a machine that somebody left there, and I would just hit print voucher, right? And I did this for a couple of hours, and I got caught the one day, and they didn't do anything, but they told me I had to leave. So I went back about maybe 8, 9 months, maybe a year later, and I did the same thing, and they caught me again, and they banned me from Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh. This real douchebag guy with his hair slicked back, you know, one of those guys who goes home and listens to Katy Perry and beats off, you know, them faggots, right? This dude goes in there while he's entering my data into the computer to make sure I can't come back. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. He goes, yeah, you know, the government, they don't like it when you steal from them. I'm like, the government steals from me every week. It's called taxes. He didn't like that very much. He asked me if I wanted to shut up or be arrested on the spot. And I'm like, okay, dipshit, are we about done here? So then they escort me out of the building and tell me I can't come back. And I'm like, and this was back when I first learned gematria. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make 1,000 times more money friggin' gambling on rig sports than I'll ever make at the casino. So that was a pretty hilarious story. And the funny thing is, every time I did that, when I had somebody with me, you know, like a wingman, they don't say anything, you know, because there's 2 people there. They figure you're just playing the machines and going to the next ones. If you're by yourself, it's easy for them to catch you. You know, they got me when I came out of the bathroom. I was like, what? What did I do? I was like, did I do something wrong? And they're like, we think so. I said, what do you mean, dude? I'm just being clever, fam. There ain't nothing illegal about that. Uncle Sam disagreed with me. So I'm not encouraging anybody to actually do that, but if you do, make sure you got a wingman. You know, you might be able to get $7, $8, $9. You know, it's an easy way to guarantee you'll come out of the casino as a winner. The few times I did it with family or friends, they gave me my $7 or $8. I'll walk out and, you know, got a little bit of pocket change. But always make sure you got someone with you. And who knows, if you gamble with that $7 or $8, maybe you might win a couple hundred or 1,000, you know, who knows? And then if you lose, hey, you break even. Either way, you win. Government don't want you to win. That's why they delete our channels on YouTube for putting out this knowledge that helps people win. Everybody that took this advice on Patreon, they're a happy camper right now, just like they're going to be with the NFL tomorrow. So just wanted to share that with you guys. As I said before, from sea to shining sea, this is how the world of professional sports is rigged. Till next time.